You're listening to Menopause Natural Solutions, Episode 19, Blood Sugar Imbalances, Diabetes and the Menopausal Transition. Welcome to Menopause Natural Solutions, your podcast for all things perimenopause and menopause related. Stay tuned as naturopath Jennifer Harrington explains how to use natural therapies to transform your health and happiness. Hello ladies! Welcome back to another really important topic today, and that being blood sugar imbalances and diabetes. It is unfortunate that 1 in 3 women postmenopausally will develop type 2 diabetes, so I feel this is a really important and essential conversation that we're going to have today. And if you've ever doubted the link between hormones and blood sugar levels, you just need to look at the increased risk of gestational diabetes in pregnancy. So there certainly is a link, and what we find with perimenopause and menopause is that it's with the reduction of estrogen that causes the increased risk of blood sugar irregularities and type 2 diabetes. And this is because estrogen supports the pathways that regulate insulin and blood sugar levels. And obviously this function will diminish as the hormone levels drop. And nothing is more important than a healthy diet at this stage of life. And by a healthy diet, I mean a whole food, unprocessed diet based on adequate protein, abundant vegetables, salads, fruit with good fats. What you need to be avoiding is sugar or highly processed foods, as often these are sources or hidden sources really of sugar. So if you want some more information about nutrition and diet, it is something that we've dived into in the past. So I will put in the show notes a link to Menopause Nutrition Basics, and you can go back and have a look at that if you need some help tweaking your diet. But I wanted to let you all know today that having a healthy diet alone isn't enough to prevent diabetes. Excessive stress can also contribute to this diagnosis. And who these days isn't stressed? Although I can't wave my magic wand and remove your excessive stress, I can recommend you increase your stress management tools. Things like exercise, meditation, breathing, sleeping, all help to improve your tolerance or your response to stress. And these lifestyle factors are key to helping you reduce your blood sugar spikes, as when you're stressed, your body produces additional cortisol. This hormone liberates stored sugar and it turns it into active blood sugar to provide you with the energy to run away from your danger. Have you ever been that stressed out that you start to feel a little bit shaky? This is a stress response telling you to run, telling you to escape from your stressor. And if you don't run and burn this additional sugar, insulin is then produced to store it away again for another day. And if this keeps happening, this leads to insulin resistance or pre-diabetes. And my other concern is that blood sugar imbalances produce similar symptoms as the menopausal transition. And if you are experiencing any or all of these symptoms, you need to rule out blood sugar irregularities before putting all the blame on your hormones. So here's a list of the symptoms: hot flushes, fatigue, brain fog, weight gain, issues getting to sleep, issues staying asleep, bad moods. You know that hangry woman, she's irritable and aggressive and snappy. Recurrent headaches, digestive issues, frequent infections, feeling short of breath, having skin outbreaks and pimples, any kind of inflammation or pain, feeling dizzy, trembling a little bit, and hair loss. These are all really, really common symptoms, and I actually recommend some tests to get to the bottom of it, just to determine if any of these are actually blood sugar related at all. And if they are, that is where we will focus. And if your blood sugar levels are all normal, then we will look at other things like your hormones. But these are the 3 tests that I recommend to help you assess how balanced your blood sugar levels are. Now, I want to tell you that these must be tested in a fasting state. So have your dinner at night, nothing overnight, and go in and get them tested in the morning. And the first one is glucose, which is really your active blood sugar level. The next is insulin, and this hormone is released when carbohydrates and sugars are ingested or when called upon by cortisol, your stress hormone. And insulin signals for the storage of sugars and the stockpiling of fats, hence why you gain weight. And the final one is HbA1c, or glycated hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a protein found in your red blood cells. And when glucose builds up in your blood, it binds to hemoglobin. And this test measures how much glucose is bound. And as blood cells live for about 3 months, this test shows the average level of glucose in your blood over that 3-month period. So I really like this test because you can't fudge it. If you've ate really well for a day or so before getting a glucose test, you can sometimes get better results than you deserve. But with the HbA1c, this is not the case because it's averaging out how you've eaten for the last 3 months. If you've already developed diabetes, it's important to be aware that the menopausal transition will play havoc with your blood sugar levels. Some women will require additional medication or increased doses of their existing drugs to stabilize their readings. So this is just something for you guys to be mindful of. Did you realize type 2 diabetes is reversible? It is a lifestyle disease, and lifestyle diseases can be corrected by generally doing the opposite of what gave you the disease in the first place. So replace inactivity with regular exercise. Replace sleepless nights with adequate rest. And I will also pop in the show notes, I have gone over sleep in the past, so if that's something that you're struggling with, please go back and have a look. And also replacing processed foods and sugary foods with organic meals high in protein and good fats and vegetables. Ultimately, it's your life and it's your choice. If you do have type 2 diabetes and you're wanting to reverse it, I highly, highly recommend that you don't do it on your own. You should do this under the care of a professional because you need to be supervised for this. Let's touch on some supplements that you may want to consider. So chromium is an all-time favorite, I've got to say, for blood sugar regulations because it helps reduce your cravings. It's so much easier to control your diet when you're not getting out of control cravings. But chromium also enhances the action of insulin. Inositol also reduces blood glucose levels. I don't know if you're aware, but vitamin D deficiency is linked in with metabolic syndrome, and it helps to prevent the development of diabetes. Resveratrol reduces the accelerated aging response from high blood glucose. Alpha-lipoic acid. This antioxidant protects against free radical damage and is especially important if you are diabetic, as it can prevent and treat peripheral nephropathy. I've seen it work absolute wonders with diabetic foot-related issues. Magnesium. Magnesium helps reduce cravings. It helps balance blood sugar levels, and diabetics have a higher need for magnesium. And I've got a couple of herbs for you to consider as well, and one of them being gymnema. Gymnema is an Ayurvedic herb, and they actually call it the sugar destroyer. If you take it as a liquid herb and put the drops on your tongue, it actually alters your taste buds' response to sugar. So it doesn't taste as lovely as it used to. Therefore, you don't want it. But this is temporary. But gymnema is definitely something to play around with if sugar is a big problem for you. And the second herb is cinnamon. Cinnamon increases insulin sensitivity and lowers blood sugar levels. So I hope today has been helpful for you. If you need a hand, please feel free to contact me or seek the help of a local practitioner. Well, that's it for me today. But before I get going, I wanted to let you know you have one last opportunity this year to join my membership program, the Online Retreat. So doors open on the 4th of November. But if you are interested, come over and join the wait list so I know how many people are roughly interested, because I do really like to keep this group small. And as a gift to you for joining the wait list, regardless of whether you join the program or not, we will give you a sample 7-day meal planner with recipes. So guys, I hope you enjoy that. That's some of my favorite recipes that I've put together in a 7-day planner. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you get outside and exercise and sleep well and do all the things we spoke about. And until then, we'll chat next time. Bye. Menopause Natural Solutions. This podcast contains general information about menopause. It is provided as a guide and is not intended to replace medical advice.